Hello, visitor.
Oh,
We are the Slylandro. I am content to hover, a Slylandro speaker.
it's them.
Your presence here fills
found
us
them.
with excitement.
Finally.
We have gotten so few visitors over these many drawn. We hope you can stay to talk with us for a time.
Yeah, I got some shit to say to you. Oh, why can't I say anything that isn't rude? Let's see. Pardon me, but who exactly are you
We
again?
are the Slylandro, a race of kind, curious, gas-bag people.
Gas bag. Okay, sounds interesting. Tell us more.
Certainly, provided you share with us similar information.
Fine.
What would you like to know?
Tell us about your home, this gas giant planet.
Our planet, which we call Source, has no solid surface as yours likely does.
Right.
Our world is the 500-kilometer band of atmosphere in which we can survive. Below this are the depths, a dark, hostile region, which grows increasingly darker and more hostile the farther one goes.
Makes sense.
A typical feat of courage for Slylandro juveniles is to sink far enough into the depths so that the juvenile's gas bag is almost ruptured by the pressure. The tissue scars left by the trip last many rotations and are thought to attract comely mates. Above our world is void. When we travel up too far into void, we grow giddy and behave inappropriately.
Yeah, us too. This is really cool. A gas giant species. Okay, what can you tell us about your culture?
We have an egalitarian society here. All are equal. Of course, that doesn't stop some people from being stupid fools or jerks. But on a world as huge as Source, where there are no barriers to restrict your travel, if someone is bothering you, you simply go somewhere else. As you might have guessed, we have no physical technology. In our long history, several of our people have tried to work with objects, constructing weapons and other tools from the carcasses of dead beasts. But eventually, whatever it was they were building got too heavy and dragged them down to the depths.
Of course. Gravity of a gas giant. Well, how the hell did you build these probes? Okay, this would be nice first. What about your history?
Since we possess no technology, we have no permanent way to record the passing of events. Instead, we use the history chants, long songs whose rhythms and patterns help prevent the introduction of error into the record.
Interesting.
When the Shaggy Ones first arrived over
Shaggy
41
Ones.
drawns ago, we had no words for aliens or ships, for stars or planets. Our skies are an opaque swirl of colors. We knew nothing of the universe outside Source.
Of course.
The Shaggy Ones taught us most of the new words, and after they departed, we remembered them for the many long drawn, until ships from the sentient milieu arrived.
I find this all very fascinating. Tell me about your
Our
biology.
world, which we call Source, has been home to our species for many thousands of drawn. We evolved from simpler, unimodular beings who thrive in atmospheric convection cells. At first, we were little more than mindless consumers who
Us
glided
too.
at the edge of wind walls, straining the air for small animalcules. But even then, we were social creatures who invented language so that we could better cooperate when herding food into dense concentrations. There are many hundreds of species here in Source, producers, consumers, hunters, and parasites, but so far, we are the only species here to achieve intelligence.
It's fascinating how, despite our differences, we are so similar. Thank you, that's sufficient for
My
now.
pleasure. Now let's talk about you and your peoples.
Okay. Okay, I am Zeljim, captain of the Earth Starship Serenity. What the heck are you?
This is terribly exciting. We will be happy to tell you about ourselves if you will
already have.
please do the same. You see, we Slylandro have been extremely interested in learning about the galaxy, but our physique makes us incapable of leaving our gas giant home. Therefore, we are totally reliant on our infrequent visitors to keep us informed about events outside this planetary system. And visitors usually only show up every few drawn. We hope that our newly deployed exploration probe fleet will not only gather information for us, but inform other races of our
You're
presence
not
here
going to
as
be happy
well.
about what your probes are doing. What probes are you talking
You know,
about?
it's funny. We hadn't heard from the outside galaxy in a whole Janasa. And then the Melnorm may come by and sell us a probe. And just a few hundred rotations
The
later,
Melnorm?
you show up.
Those
Oh, the
fucking...
probes? Right. Well, like we said, just a short time ago, a race called the Melnorm stopped by.
Melnorm,
They
whatever.
said they had acquired some information revealing our existence, and they wanted to study us if we didn't mind. In fact, the Melnorm said they would pay us for the right to do so.
Sounds
I
like
guess
them.
they are biology nuts or something.
Yes, they are.
Anyway, in exchange for our information, they gave us a probe vessel.
That probe has been causing a lot of problems. I'm going to have to talk to the bloody Melnorm about this. Can you give me details about your probe?
Sure, if you are interested. In exchange for information about the life on Source, the Melnorm may offer to give us a remote exploration probe. It would roam the galaxy gathering information and contacting alien races, and when it had filled its data storage units, it would return here and
Right, ain't
reveal
working
to us
right.
everything it had learned.
Yeah, well then why do your probes attack our
Our
ships?
probes do not attack.
They
They
fucking
have
do.
only defensive capabilities. Offensive behavior is not part of the instructions we programmed into the probe. To do so would be reprehensible.
Where exactly? Yeah, okay, can we talk a little bit more about the probes program?
Sure. What would you like to know?
You give the general, yeah, just the general outline of the probes program.
Sure. It was a difficult task for us, since we'd never done anything like that before.
Bad
But for the
programming.
most part, we just adjusted its standard program, which went something like scan for targets as defined in target list. If no current target, then select new target from the current targets list using specified priorities. If current position is at current target, then set current behavior to new behavior based on behavior priority settings. Perform current behavior. Okay, that's the basic program. I said it was simple.
Well, what's the behavior?
And here are the tables used by the program. Target list with associated target priority. Space vessel 5. Transmission source 4. Astronomical anomaly 3. Planet-bearing life signature 2. Raw replication materials
Oh god,
1. Probe behaviors
that's
with
why.
assigned priorities. Communicate
You set the
5.
probe
Record
replication
data. 4.
at maximum priority.
Analyze data 3. Seek replication materials 999. Move to current target 1.
Wait,
That's it.
you dumbasses. It's their fault and the Melnorm's fault. You mentioned the probe's defensive capabilities.
That
Elaborate.
behavior was hard-coded by the Melnorm. We couldn't mess with it. Essentially, the probe will only fire its weapons if it has been attacked and cannot communicate with the attacker.
When defending itself, it uses its lightning
No,
weapon.
the probe is armed with a battery of missiles.
Really?
It doesn't use its electrical discharge device in combat.
What missile batteries? It always attacked us with
That's
lightning bolts.
impossible. It's inconceivable.
It's
The
true.
electrical discharge device is used only for breaking down raw replication materials.
That's what
into
they call
their
us.
component compounds for easy gathering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Where exactly did you say you got
From
the
the
probe from?
Melnorm Traveler Traders. It was catalog item 2418. Remote self-replicating robot explorer probe.
Right.
The economy model.
Yeah. Why did the
The
Melnorm sell it to you?
Melnorm traded it to us for data on the life on Source. They said the information was unique and was worth, I don't really understand their units of exchange. Something like 10,000
Whoa.
redots or something like that. Fortunately, that was exactly the price of their catalog item 2418. Remote self-replicating robot explorer probe.
You got taken. Let's see. How long ago did you get the probe?
2 or 300 rotations, I guess.
How long's a rotation? Lost this already.
It was sent on a 500 rotation mission.
Shit.
To seek out new life and new civilizations. To boldly go where no catalog item 2418, remote self-replicating robot explorer probe, had gone before.
Brilliant. Can you explain the probe's replication ability?
Well, we're not hardware people, so we only know the theory. What happens is that while the probe is exploring space, whenever it's not doing something more important, it hunts for asteroids and similar space junk, zaps it into its component parts, absorbs the debris, and when it has enough raw materials stored inside, it manufactures a perfect replica of itself. So even though we only bought one probe, by now there should be hundreds of probes, maybe even thousands.
Damn it, you fucking programming noobs.
Sure.
Alright, let's talk a little more
What would
about
you like
the
to know?
probe's program. You tell me about the replication
I'd be
behavior.
glad to. You see, the probe has the capability to seek out raw materials, process the raw materials into component compounds, collect the compounds, and then, when it has a sufficient supply, it can build a duplicate of itself.
Yeah.
We decided that since we had only one probe, we should change the replication priority and crank it up so that there would be more probes sooner.
You assigned priority
Well,
1, didn't
the
you?
factory setting was 2, in between movement at 1 and analyze data at 3. I told Joyce Lifting to set it a bit higher. Let me ask him what he set it to. Oh, my. That was a bit extreme, wasn't it? Joyce Lifting told me he changed it to 999. The
Okay,
highest
it's the other way
setting on
around.
the dial.
What's the effect of the priority settings on behavior? I think I
I'm
can
pretty
guess.
sure the way it works is that every time a behavior is completed or interrupted, the program selects a new behavior based on the defined behavior target priorities and what kind of target is currently selected. I think a really high priority would cause a probe to focus its attention on that behavior.
Yes, your probe does destroy ships and I can
No,
prove it.
It cannot. It is not programmed for hostile behavior.
Yes,
What
it
is
is.
your reasoning?
Think about a probe's replication
The
behavior.
probe seeks raw materials and processes them in preparation for replication.
Think about the effect of changing the replication behavior's
The
priority.
answer is simple. It would spend more of its time seeking raw materials for its replication process. So what?
Now what will it do to a ship, given that its replication priority is set to
I don't see
maximum?
what you are getting at, but I'll play along with you. Like I said, alien ships are the top priority target.
Right.
Once a probe scanned a ship, it would instantly move toward it. Then, when it got to the ship, it would initiate communication automatically. When communications were terminated, a new behavior would be selected, and a
Yes.
new behavior would be selected. And since the replication setting was set to maximum, the probe wouldn't get time to pick a new target. It would use the current target, the ship, for raw replication materials. It would process the ship, break it into component compounds with electrical discharges. Oh no! What have we done?
You have killed
Traveler, you must tell
countless.
us what we can do! How can we stop the probes from destroying all life in the galaxy?
Alright. Sue the Melnorm, yeah. Yeah. Isn't there some kind of recall signal?
No, not catalog item 2418, remote self-replicating robot explorer probe. The model with the recall transmitter was catalog item 2419, and the Melnorme said it was out of stock.
Brilliant. I suppose you have some kind of mega self-destruct code or
Why
something.
yes, there is!
There is?
You're a genius, Traveler! Why didn't we remember that?
Because you're
Oh,
useless gas
there's a
bags.
problem, though. How are we going to transmit the code? Well, while we ponder that problem, at least we can give you the code sequence. That way, if you run into a probe, you can destroy it without getting shot.
Struct sequence 1, 1A, 2B. Yeah, have they given it to us? I guess they have. Okay, how long is a
The
drawn?
drawn is our primary unit of time. It lasts for an interval equivalent to 4 million rotations of our planet. A
Whoa!
drawn is subdivided into 2,000 dranasa. Now please, our turn. Will you tell us about yourselves?
Sure. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'll just tell them that. We come from a large rocky world called Earth.
Yes, that seems to be the pattern. Just about everyone who comes by here says they developed on a world a lot like that.
Yeah.
As far as we know, we're the only sentient species who's ever evolved in the atmosphere of a gas giant. Of course, from what we know, most travelers like yourselves don't have much interest in gas giants. So maybe there are others like us, Thylandro, out there somewhere.
Possibly, but how would they find you? Okay, unless they bought item 2418. Okay, we travel the galaxy in starships, seeking knowledge and contact with other
That must
sentients.
be great. To leave your planet and roam the stars.
Yeah, it
You
must
don't
be.
know how monotonous living on a gas giant for 3 or 4 drawn can be. Clouds,
Yeah.
clouds, clouds. Wind, lightning, clouds, clouds, clouds. That's it. We know a lot about clouds. If you've got any cloud questions, ask us. We have over 800 different symbolic references just to describe them.
Yeah.
Most of the time, when we aren't eating, we hover around and talk about what the clouds look like. Of course, the only things we know about are clouds, food, and other Slylandro. So generally, that's what we think the clouds look like.
Wow. Why are you so intelligent if you don't need to be? It's just strange. Yeah, our primary objective right now is to free ourselves from the evil
The
Ur-Quan.
Ur-Quan? The long brownish guys from the milieu with all the eyes and arms? They used to come visit us regularly about 3 drawns ago. They told us about all the interesting things they found from their scouting missions. They were really nice. Why do you fight with them?
Yeah. That's not the Ur-Quan we're talking about. Ours are
But
green.
the Ur-Quan were such good guys. They had lots of interesting things to tell us about, and they never got impatient with our questions. Well, I guess a lot can happen to a species in 3 drawn, like turning
Yeah.
green and evil.
Interesting. We're particularly interested in study. That's really interesting. I keep learning all these little bits of information. It's like a deep, complex story, just weaving itself. Yeah. Anyway, we are particularly interested in studying unusual planets and life
Oh,
forms.
then you should go check out a planet orbiting a blue star not too far
Oh.
from here. I
Thank you.
think there is another blue star right next to it. We can't describe exactly where it is, but the people who told us about it, the Ur-Quan I think, said that it was one of the rarest worlds in space, and that as far as they knew, there were only 10 of these planets in this part of the galaxy.
Huh. 2 blue stars. Okay. That's enough about us for now.
But please, can we talk about you some more later?
Such a nice guy. Tell me about the other races that have visited you over the
Years? Oh, you mean drawn? Well,
yeah.
let's see. There was the Melnomay just a few rotations back. Then we go all the way back over 3 drawn ago to the Ur-Quan and the other milieu guys. The
Milieu.
Yuli and the Draw, I think.
Never heard of them. Milieu. What is the milieu and who are the Yuli and the Draw?
Let me remember. That was a long, long time ago. I was only a nymph then. Oh yes, that's it. The sentient milieu was a cooperative association of sentient alien species. The Yuli, the Draw, the Taelo, the Melnum, the Foz, and the Ur-Quan, who lived across a wide section of the galaxy.
Huh.
They talked with us fairly frequently for almost half a drawn. Then suddenly, the visit stopped, and we haven't heard from them since.
Was that the ancient Precursor Alliance? Huh. Were there any other visitors here beside the Melnomay and the Milieu races?
There was another race, a highly sophisticated species of shaggy giants who made repeated trips to our world over a period of several drawn. They even installed a broadcasting satellite in orbit around our world, which let us talk with them whenever we wanted. They were called I'm sorry, I can't remember their names. It was a long, long time ago.
Maybe they were the precursors. Yes, that sounds like the precursors. What else can you tell us
I wish
about?
I knew more of the information you seek, traveler. But we last saw the Shaggy Ones just over 39 drawn ago, and very little from that era has remained intact in our history chants.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Let me consult with associates Joyce Lifting and Solid Plumbing. Joyce Lifting, who has a better memory than I, recalls that the Shaggy Ones were described as being worried. They were always hurrying from place to place, seeking knowledge as though they were in a desperate search for some important secret, some answer to a question that they never shared with us.
The secret
Solid
of Monkey
Plumbing
Island?
remembers that the last time the Shaggy Ones visited our world, they came aboard a great circular starship, one even larger than your own. They had discovered their answer and were leaving to go somewhere, and they didn't tell us exactly where somewhere was.
Interesting. This is extremely important to us. Don't you know any more?
No, I have told you. One moment. Joyce Lifting transmits. Joyce Lifting has remembered something else, though it does not relate to the Shaggy One's question, answer, or departure destination. What my associate communicates is the description of a set of 10 worlds, unlike all others. The Shaggy Ones either discovered these planets, or, this is garbled, assembled them? We were told the planets were, again this is confusing, organized in some pattern which in some way alluded to the Shaggy One's ultimate fate. One of the worlds was described as orbiting one of a pair of blue stars not far from here. Another of these worlds circled a large white sun.
Okay.
That is all we can remember.
2 blue stars and 1 light. So they said they manufactured these worlds. That's pretty damn cool. What are these glowing bits inside
Oh
of
my! I forgot! You creatures see in the visual range and can see our we can't see them. What I mean to say is they are, we use them when the male and the female.
you? It's alright, I understand.
Well, look, I'd rather if you didn't ask about them, okay?
Naughty bits.
Especially not in front of Soul and Plummet. She's shy.
Aw. I shouldn't say that. Oh, why not? I said, what are those glowy things inside of you?
Now you've done it. Just look at Soul and Plummet.
Aw.
You've embarrassed her so badly that she can't even regulate her ballast.
I'm sorry I asked about your glowy
That's
bits.
okay. Actually, your explicit questions have put Soul and Plummet in an unusual and intriguing mood.
Oh.
I will explore this change more fully when this conversation is over.
Oh god. I made a horny. I made a gas bag horny. Alright. Goodbye, Slylander and gas
Goodbye,
bags.
human fluid sack.
Bags of mostly water. Well, that was absolutely fascinating. I love all this sci-fi shit. So, let me look for those stars. 2 blue stars. Oh, there's 2 blue stars. There. Alpha Pegasi, Beta Pegasi. 1 large white star, well that could be anywhere. There's one down there, but that's Z-Man. Beta Chariot. Oh, Alpha Colombo. Well, it looks like I'm going to run out of fuel, and that's hopefully going to mean that the Melnor Mayor will turn up and help me. But in the meantime, I'll finish exploring this system and gathering resources and then move on.